Broadcasting live from the WGBB World Headquarters here in New York. This is the Big Fat Joey Show with your host, Big Fat Joey.
Hey, Sin, Big Fat Joey, Big Fat Joey Show, biggest thing on radio. What's up?
Wow, it's the weekend again, a holiday passing, and more on its way.
Yes, everyone, happy Thanksgiving. Come. I can't believe it. It was 4 days ago. So quick. You know, Wednesday night, ready to rock and roll. Yeah, 4-day weekend. And here we are. Sunday. We got about 4 minutes left before Monday morning rolls back.
It rolls too quick.
Well, speaking of quick, we have a great show today that is jam-packed. We have up first and foremost, friend of the Big Fat Joey Show, Dr. Neil Sadick. Dr. Sadick has just been recently recognized by the leading physicians of the World Organization as being one of the top dermatologists in the world. Dr. Sadick was kind enough to come on with us and speak to us all about beauty care and how we can take care of ourselves and the true meaning behind, you know, preventive medicine on, you know, getting yourself checked out by your doctor, be it your regular GP, you know, a dermatologist like Dr. Sadick, heart doctor, foot doctor, you know, get yourself checked up so you can keep living.
I'm super excited. I can't wait to hear it.
Well, Dr. Sadick has 3 offices for everyone's convenience, one on Park Avenue in New York City, one down in the Union Square area on 15th Street, and his newly opened office out here in Southampton, New York. You know what? Definitely check Dr. Sadick out. You can catch him on the internet at Sadick Dermatology. That's Sadick, dermatology.com. And you can also catch him on Instagram at Neil Sadick, Neilsadick. Also up today, Sin, who do we have?
We have Sapphire Hart. She has a brand new song.
Sapphire Hart, a multifaceted entertainer, composer, musician, actress. Great new song she has out, Toxic Love Story. I'm loving every moment of it.
I love it. It's just everyone writes about their experience, love, and everything. I love it.
Well, you know, I always mention if you take a page out of T Swift's playbook and you write a little bit about what goes on in your life, especially about your love life and things of that nature. If you can just be fractionally as successful as T Swift, I think Sapphire and all my other indie artists would be just fine. You know what, everyone, to follow Sapphire, check her out on Instagram at Sapphire_Hart. That's SAPPHIRE_Hart, HART. All right, everyone. Up next is my interview with Dr. Neil Sadick. All right, everyone, let's welcome to the line dermatologist and cosmetic surgeon, Dr. Neil Sadick. Doctor, welcome to the Big Fat Joey Show. How are you?
Hi, Joey. I'm great. How are you today?
Not bad, you know, enjoying a nice day. You know, fall is upon us, and 2020 hopefully is skipping away quicker and quicker as the days go by.
And I hope you and the family are safe, you know, in this COVID era, you know, so I send them my regards. And to everybody out there, please stay safe. You know, we say wear a mask, social distance, wash your hands, and pray to the Lord every day. So that's what I say.
Yes, we're all doing well, thank you, and hopefully you and yours are doing well as well.
We are, thank you, yes. And, you know, we are seeing patients again. It's sort of a new environment for us. You know, we have COVID restrictions in terms of safety and hygienic cleanliness. I actually wrote some guidelines for how offices can reopen around the world in dermatology. So we are being very, very safe and conservative for our patients to be sure that we practice in a very safe environment.
So explain a little bit of that to us, because, you know, before this all happened, you know, you go to your doctor, you sit down, you know, you hang around, you play with the tongue depressor, at least I do. You know, I'm playing with the blood pressure machine. Now everything is sterile. I see locks on. So has it really impacted the profession?
Well, it certainly has. You know, we've been very fortunate. I'm knocking on wood here in my office, you know, to state we've had no outbreaks or infections here. But what we do is we have what's called infection control measures. And that is we have special vacuum filters in the office, and we also have our office cleansed professionally, you know, each evening and after every patient as well. And one great thing that we have is what's called the virtual waiting room. So nobody comes to the office. You know how patients used to be packed in a
Yeah.
crowded waiting room. We no longer have that. There is no waiting room. Patients come into the office, they're brought directly into a treatment room, and everything from filling out registration forms to their treatment to whatever collections are necessary to any instructions that are needed to follow-up appointments are all made, in the room away from contact with other patients. So we really do maintain social distancing. All our staff are wearing masks all day in the office, and any procedure that we do, we not only use masks, we use shields as well. So practicing those hygienic measures, of course, hand washing before and after each patient, have really helped to make us a safe environment.
Well, definitely, because, and I'm speaking on the layman's terms. I watch a lot of TV, watch all the different newses, and, I speak to my personal doctor or any other doctor that we happen to run into, like, me and my wife, we know of you and your daughter, Sydney, who is a TV personality, Sydney Sadick. And we ask all the doctors, what's their take on it? Because, it's crazy. And my audience knows my wife and I had it. And, my doctor was telling me, he goes, it's amazing. Someone I'm a big guy. I'm about, 6'7", 290, 300 on whatever given day it is. And my doc's like, I got people, Joe, your size. I got people who run marathons. I have people who have, 8 heart stents and diabetes and cancer. He goes, I don't know who's sick and who's going to die, because the triathlons, some of them are deathly sick. Some of them are fine. You're pretty good. I got people. He goes, it's all over the place. So I can't even say, oh, this type of person, yeah, they're probably not going to fare so well. Or this type of person, oh, they're going to do very well because, they kept themselves healthy. He goes, it's all over the place.
Well, I think the major thing, Joey, that I know actually part of my background is in infectious diseases as well as cosmetic dermatology, is that we know this is an aerosol-mediated type of virus. So the major way people come into contact with the virus is spread via aerosols. So that's why social distancing and wearing masks is so important. And also staying in outdoors as much as possible in an environment where you don't have clusters of where the virus can live. Those are some major factors that can lead to improvement in health. And it's been shown, as we sort of go through the beginning of what hopefully won't be a second wave, but a slight up increase in terms of the number of cases, that's because people are, again, becoming lax in these very, easy, common, and sensible measures, such as masks, social distancing, and hand washing. It seems pretty easy to me and pretty sensible to me that if we follow these measures, we really can cut down the number of cases. So I think that each of us, whether I'm in the medical profession or you out there, for what you do, with this great show, I think if we all tell everybody around us, please be careful and be thoughtful of others, that really can keep, again, the outbreak at a minimum.
Yeah, I mean, from what I'm hearing, people, they're using the term COVID fatigue. People's like, I'm tired of wearing a mask. I'm tired of doing this. I'm tired of doing that. But you have to do what you have to do.
You got to do it, because the one thing we don't want from a public health or economic view is to really close down, again, the total economy again. We look at it, people have talked about COVID fatigue. We talk about the term maskne. So many of our patients are coming in wearing masks, having outbreaks of acne, allergic type reactions under their masks. Mm-hmm. So again, it's portraying itself in different flavors and different forms for different individuals. But, yes, we are all fatigued about having these restrictions. I think it's really important if we don't follow them until things are under still much better control, mm-hmm. I think it's not going to have a good outcome. So we all need to play our part. Anybody out there, any of your listeners, please be mindful. And when you see somebody on the street, don't be critical. Just what I say is kindly, just remember, we want to protect each other. That's why it would be really helpful to follow, the measures that we've talked about.
Now, speaking of masks, what are the do's and don'ts of the masks, and what type of masks should people be wearing? Because you see the surgical masks that you've obviously worn your whole career. You have all these designer masks. You have the bandanas. You have the gator necks. What's good? What isn't? And how should you wear it?
Well, I think the most important facet is to be sure that the mask covers your nose and your mouth. We so many people walking on the streets or in public transportation, mm-hmm. I see as well, that the mask is hanging down and their nose, again, where the aerosol can be spread, is left uncovered. Mm-hmm. So number one is wear your mask over your nose, mouth, and mouth. Number two, you want to keep those masks clean as well. So the mask should either be changed if it's a disposable mask each day, or washed every other day at least, to be sure that we keep, again, unwanted organisms off the masks as well. What type of mask you wear actually is less important if you're just out there, in the environment. There are, again, we wear more stringent masks, again, that remove viral aerosols and have filters in them called the N95 and K95 masks. But it's really not necessary for the average individual to wear that type of mask. Most importantly is to cover areas where aerosol can be spread. And also we're seeing a lot of people that complain of inflammation, irritation under the masks. So I actually like using cotton type masks with, again, washable type of materials. I think that provides the best and most comfortable approach, because many people who wear stiffer masks claim that it's hard for them to breathe under the masks, and that's why they stop using them. So use something that's comfortable, cover the nose, the rest of the face as well, and then try to keep it off when you're by yourself somewhat so that your skin can breathe. And again, if you have any irritancy or redness, change the material, order a different type of mask made out of a different material.
Yeah, no, my wife has a slew of masks from a slew of different people, and for all intents and purposes, to me, they feel the same. Some of them are a little thicker. Yeah. Some of them, especially when it's hot in the summer out east and a little humid, I was like, yeah, maybe I'm gonna wear this mask during the summer. It was felt a little more restricting, and I wear glasses, and the glasses got fogged up within nanoseconds. So, but
yeah, that's another problem that we get fogged up when we wear a mask in the operating room when we're doing Botox or any surgical type or laser or surgical procedure.
Now, you mentioned people are starting to get rashes where the mask is touching their skin, some sort of dermatitis. So what is new in this COVID era with beauty? What's everyone doing? What's going on?
Well, it's interesting because many people are at home now and working out of home. So more and more people are coming in for operative procedures such as liposuction or hair transplantation to our practice, because they actually have time because they're working at home to recuperate after these types of procedures. That's one really interesting thing that we're seeing. We're seeing less people coming in for treatments around the mouth because their masks are covering it. So, for example, lip augmentation, we used to do a tremendous amount of that. Okay. Laser resurfacing around the mouth, we're not doing as much of that. But there's a great concentration of hair disorders, treatment for wrinkling around the eyes, areas that are exposed, and for body rejuvenation. Again, those are some areas that are gaining increased number of patients coming through the office asking for those procedures. And we've also done research on something called COVID hair. The COVID, again, infection can also cause significant hair loss as well. It can be due to the viral infection. It can be due to inflammation in the scalp, similar to the inflammation people develop on other parts of their bodies. So we're seeing an increased number of individuals coming into our office with hair loss. And we actually have a big publication coming out, what's called COVID hair, how to recognize it and how to treat it. And again, this is an increasingly recognized entity.
Yeah, going back to what I was saying previously about speaking to my doctor, there's so many things that every day on the news, another COVID issue. All of a sudden now people are losing hair. All of a sudden, you had the children getting the Coxsackie disease. Just so many different things that this virus is bringing out on people. It's just amazing.
Well, that's true. But I think the one major factor, that one therapeutic factor, that's most important. If you start getting really sick, I think the best treatment are, again, steroids taken during the early part of the disease for a few days. Because the reason people get into trouble for unknown reasons related to their immune system is they develop the so-called vascular storm or cytokine storm. Somehow the virus induces an inflammation of blood vessels. If you can cut down that inflammation, which commonly presents in the lungs, but in any organ in the body as well, you really can have the outcome of individuals infected with COVID have much better outcomes and not develop into that, more systemic terminal type of illness, unfortunately, that has killed so many individuals. So I think we've talked about vaccines. We have monoclonal antibodies. I think they're very important. The antibodies perhaps for treatment modalities, the vaccine for prevention. But I think the number one thing that I've learned in studying, and we've published a number of papers on this, if you have an early illness and you seem to be getting worse, I would recommend individuals, again, taking a course of oral steroids for a period of several days during the early stage of this, downward turn.
That's interesting because, the inflammatory aspect of it. I have a couple of friends that have heart conditions, and some of them make Big Fat Joey look like little skinny Joey. And
Mhm.
and unfortunately slash fortunately for them, they've been on statins and what other heart medications, and they pulled
Right.
through. They got sick. They didn't have to go to the hospital because they've been taking baby aspirin for for
Hmm.
inflammation for their heart. And they got banged up. Don't get me wrong, but they all pulled out of it. And then I knew of friend of a friend, a couple other people who, the average person, a little overweight, nothing crazy. They're on ventilators. Luckily, they all the people I know of that were ill and went on ventilators all came out, and they're all home. They're alive. Some of them are still a little more banged up than others, but it's just amazing, as you mentioned, that it's a very an inflammatory disease, that it's just not a one system disease.
Right, that's true. And we really are learning more about it now, but understanding that the major reason for downturn is vascular inflammation of blood vessels, attacking that, again, component of the disease, to me, is the number one intervention that can make people healthy. In my practice, I do a tremendous amount of aesthetics, fillers, Botox treatments, lipo, hair transplantation, etc., lasers. But, what I've really learned from this and have published about this is that you cut down on that inflammatory cycle, you're going to make people healthier and better and really markedly lower the morbidity and mortality of the disease.
Well, that's good to know, and it's great that people like yourself, doctors, scientists, every day. I know the community shares, so you're all sharing information. You have write-ups coming out, as you mentioned before. That's what everyone needs, because this is not something that should be kept in a corner. I think all the medical professions and as I mentioned to you off air, I'm a first responder. We get a lot of this information as well. I'm not working on anybody. I'm not, but we get it because we come in contact with these people who we have to, unfortunately, bring from their home to the hospital, and we go over the different aspects of it. 99% of it is not germane to what we're doing, but it's good. It's good base knowledge for all of us to have, and we all bring it home to our families, and we try to work with it as best we can.
Another interesting thing is that people, for a period of time, were not coming in for their Botox treatments and their fillers and their laser treatments, but now more and more people are coming in, because I think people are coming to understand that we'll probably be living somewhat in the COVID environment for a more prolonged period of time than people understand. So they don't want to fall behind. A lot of our research from our research center is on age prevention or age prophylaxis, slowing down the aging process. So you don't want to stop those types of treatments that can be helpful in slowing down and that can accelerate the aging process. You want to continue on the programs that we've developed that slow down the aging process, and it also makes people feel better about themselves. I think anything that you can do to uplift individuals in this type of environment is really, really helpful. It is a viral infectious disease, but it's also a psychologic type of disease. So there certainly is an increased incidence of depression for many reasons that occur in individuals. But I think what I always really recommend for myself and others, try to always look at the upbeat part of life.
Yes.
And for my patients, try to do things that are going to make you happy, procedures that will make you happy. Try to stay positive. That's really, and don't let that fatigue get to you. That's really my major message.
And I know you're a dog lover like myself, and your dog Botox. And we're going to get into that in a moment. But when I was ill, my doctor recommended, don't touch the dog for a variety of reasons. Because one, we don't know if animals can get it, and two, we don't want the dog running around the house with your infection on his fur, and then your family petting him.
Right.
So, but on the psychological aspect, I was away from my dog for basically 2 months. When I say away, he normally sleeps with me. He wasn't allowed in the bedroom. He wasn't allowed. I wasn't feeding him. I was talking to him, saying hello from a distance. And just about when my doctor said, you're good, there's no more virus, you're good to go, go ahead and go out and do what you need to do. I was able to play with my dog, and he had, the crazy eyes on him. Just about, it looked like he's about to crack. Like, why isn't he's my buddy. He's like, why isn't my daddy not feeding me? He's not petting me. We're not playing. We're not doing anything. What did I do wrong? He doesn't know. He doesn't understand. So I felt bad for him because he was starting to get the crazy eyes. Like, wow, what's going on? He would just look at me, just with his eye, almost like a cartoon. You could see his eyes spinning. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, dogs are smart. They're smart, but I'm sure it's very hard for them to interpret what's going on in this world as well. They see people going around all of a sudden with dresses on their face,
Right.
so I'm sure it's difficult, and individuals such as yourself that can't be in that normal contact. Many people are isolated from their animals. They're stuck in other parts of the world. I know my other half, is from Brazil, hard time getting back and forth. She's a dermatologist
Mm-hmm.
in Brazil and also works in research here in the United States. So there are many different factors. The world has changed. There are different ways that we have to deal with daily life. But I think all of us, who understand this, we just have to really think positively, take measures that protect all of us, and try to do things that make us happy. That's what I would say. And are safe.
Right. Safe and happy. So speaking of, what is the difference between filler, Botox, what's that, lip rodding, where they make you put a little rod in your lips to give them more form? What is all this?
Well, that it's so interesting. I always find it interesting that many people in the public don't really understand the difference between a Botox product and a filler. Basically, Botox is just a brand name of what's called botulinum toxin. And it basically is a substance that can inhibit the nerve muscle junction so that it inactivates the connection between the nerve and the muscle so that the muscle gets frozen for a period of time, usually for about 4 to 5 months. And there are several different brands of Botox-like molecules of botulinum toxins, Botox of which is a leader, but there's also Dysport and Xeomin, Juvo. There are 4 different products that are now available. A 5th is on the way. But basically what they do is to inactivate, again, the muscles. And they're most commonly, so that is what gets rid of wrinkles. And they're most commonly used on the upper third of the face, on the forehead, between the eyes, and for crow's feet. But more of us are now using it also to give lifting on the lower third of the face and to get rid of the sagging neck and neck bands as well. Whereas a filler is something that adds volume. It adds volume to any part of your body. They initially were developed for the face. There are many different brands, Restylane and Juvederm, Sculptra are 3 common brands. But what they do is to add volume. The number one reason that people age is because they lose fat pad volume. The fat pads which support the face tend to start sagging. And utilization of these volumizing or filling type agents tend to uplift the areas where the fat pads were. And that's what, again, gives you the appearance that aging has been reversed. So, again, fillers add volume. Botox, again, inactivates the muscles associated with wrinkling. They're often used in combination to give the best results. So, we talk about lasers to get rid of wrinkles, to get rid of color changes on the skin that people don't want. Botox to get rid of, again, wrinkles and lines, particularly on the upper third or even the lower third of the face now. And again, these filler-type substances are used to add volume and give structural support to the face.
So what you're telling me is...
Does that make sense, Joey?
That makes sense. So what I took away from all of that is Big Fat Joey should look like a 20-year-old for the rest of his life.
That's what really my goal has been. I've sort of devoted myself in my research group the concept of age prevention or slowing down the aging process. So our research group has worked on many technologies that, again, can slow down aging. So if you really want to slow down or stop aging, you need to protect your skin, keep your skin cells turned over and active, keep collagen being produced by your skin, add volume support to your skin, and even out color. And we have all new technological modalities that can accomplish those goals. But the concept of age prevention is a reality in 2020. The most important thing is it's a lot easier to, again, prevent aging if these programs are started early in life than to reverse aging later in life. So if you notice wrinkles, if you notice sagging, anything of that, any color changes on your skin, see your dermatologist or cosmetic surgeon or plastic surgeon and begin these, again, anti-aging programs early. And most of these programs are now non-invasive. They have very little or no downtime. They're called lunchtime type procedures. And these combination approaches can really change the way that, individuals look at themselves if they look at themselves today and then 10 years down the road. Same thing with hair loss. If you start noticing anything of your hair, it means you've lost 50% of your hair cells. Mm-hmm. So you want to begin those types of programs really early, and you can prevent the progression of the rest of your hair from being lost. So it's really all about, as in many aspects of medicine as well, in the beauty field, of prevention. Prevention can lead, again, you in a very positive direction, and it should be instituted as early as possible.
So, what kind of tips and tricks, or how should people be taking care of this skin now in this COVID era, and in general? How can people be taking care of their skin? Because listen, I'm guilty. Depending on what soap we have in the house, I may or may not. I'm not saying I have or haven't washed my face with Palmolive dish detergent. I'm not. What can people do?
At least you're not ingesting it, like Trump says.
Yeah. No, not injecting anything. So what can people do just in general, just, for those who don't want to, visit a skilled dermatologist like yourself? It's like, what, I just want to live my life. I want to wash my hands, wash my face, wash my body. What should they be doing to keep themselves as best as they can?
Well, I think the best way to really have long-term skin health is to protect your skin. The way to protect it is to wear a sunscreen every day, not just in the summer, but all year round. Because you can have ultraviolet irradiation that can attack the skin even on cloudy days, sort of like today of what it is here in Manhattan. The other major thing you want to do with your skin is to keep it well moisturized. So anytime you come out of the shower, anytime you come out of a bath, try to apply some very gentle moisturizer to your skin surface as well. A great tip that I think is really important for healthy skin and healthy body, prevention of, again, aging and skin cancer and internal cancers, are antioxidants. So I think even having a small glass of wine that has resveratrol in it, once a night, or taking vitamin C tablets or resveratrol tablets as well, antioxidants can play a really important role in terms of skin health and internal health. It's something you can pick up in any health food store. You don't want to wash your skin, your face, or your body too often, but taking a shower once a day and then being gentle with your skin, using a gentle, again, moisturizing type agent, a gentle cleanser, wearing a sunscreen, ingesting or using a topical antioxidant, or four key points that you can do for yourself at home and keep your skin healthy.
Well, those are great tips because, you know what? Everyone is busy and people a lot of times buy, the wrong soaps, the wrong conditioners.
Sure.
And especially the suntan lotion. As you said, today is a cloudy day here in New York. You would go outside thinking nothing of it, but obviously the ultraviolet rays, they're filtering through the clouds and they're harming your skin. And as we all know, go out. I got skin. I got skin. Sun poisoning. That's the word I'm looking for. Oh God, probably about 20 years ago.
Huh?
It was a beautiful day, high clouds. I'm not one to lay out, but I was at the beach and lying out. It was a beautiful day. I came home, all good. I'm gonna take a shower. I took a shower. I came out. I was like, oh my God, I'm on fire. What? I was out of work for a week and I was peeling skin off of my body like a snake.
Yeah. Sunburns, acute sunburns are the worst thing that you can do for your skin.
Yeah.
Avoidance, when you're out on the beach, we're sort of past the summer now, between 12 and 4 are the time that there's the greatest amounts of ultraviolet irradiation. Interestingly, we've now identified over the last year or so in the American Academy of Dermatology through research that was done at Wayne State University in Michigan that fluorescent light bulbs indoors can also lead to skin cancer and aging change of the skin. And that's why it's so important to use a sunscreen every day of your life.
Wow.
That's the number one intervention that I would recommend to all of your listeners out there to really keep your skin healthy. And if you develop any redness or inflammation from any skin product, that's a sign that that product is not healthy for you. It's causing inflammation, irritation. Don't use that product. Switch to some alternative type of product. But it's really simple, Joey. It's about protection of your skin, keeping your skin well moisturized. Don't over-weather it, meaning don't wash it, don't rub it, don't do anything that's not gentle to it. And those simple hints can really lead to healthier, better skin.
And just like you mentioned earlier on, that's all about medicine and health. You exercise, you eat right to keep your heart and your interior as healthy as possible. You put suntan lotion on, you moisturize your skin, you take showers with the proper soaps to keep your outer skin, which is the largest organ in your body, if I'm correct, from my 7th grade health class.
That is right. And also, one other really important facet that can be helpful is drinking enough water. Keeping your skin hydrated with a moisturizer and drinking, Several pints of water a day, also extremely helpful for skin health. Internal health as well, but keeping your skin well hydrated both from the outside and the inside.
And once again, that there's the whole water thing. Not only is it good for your skin, it's good for your circulatory system. It just seems, obviously water is the lifeblood of the world. Our bodies are majority made up of water. So it would only come to reason that drink as much water as possible to keep yourself hydrated and moist. And I read an article a while back, and something about heart attacks, and they said, if why do so many people have heart attacks at night? Because you would think a heart attack, you were stressed and you were aggravated, and that's what brought it on. And the article I read, and let me know if it's in the right ballpark, said that a lot of heart attacks happen at night because you finish your meal maybe 6 or 7 o'clock at night, you don't drink, so your body starts to dehydrate and the blood starts to get thicker, and if there's an underlying issue, that's part of it that could trigger it.
I'm not sure that's a role, but it's also people are, often on a de-stress mode. Sometimes they're in physical relationships at night. Those can also be other reasons why people may have that slight increase in the evening as well. So the evening is a time for your body to reset itself, from all the stresses, oxidative stresses, and other stresses during the day. So, keeping yourself in a good mood, during the day and the evening. I think that meditation sometimes can be very helpful, actually. Good exercise, good nutrition, good eating habits, and trying to keep your mind at a very gentle and stable state are really important factors in life. And you take baby aspirin, for example. I'm a true believer that if you keep, again, your lipid content down, almost all individuals later in life take statins. Baby aspirin, extremely helpful for preventing, again, any clots, in the circulation as well. I do that as well, and I think that's really an important facet for overall general health. Holistic approach, not only about skin, but also in the body as well. Before I went into dermatology, I trained in internal medicine, so I really have a holistic approach to how I approach my patients and giving them the best care.
Yeah, I've been doing a baby aspirin now 23 years on the recommendation of a friend's father who's a doctor. And, I'm just taking it. Hopefully, I got wood here too. Knock on wood.
It's had a couple of controversial bumps of whether it's helpful or not, but I believe it is, because one of the areas that I've researched has been venous diseases. And I think keeping yourself non-hypercoagulable or keeping your blood sort of somewhat thin and liquid, not having the chance to clot, is an important part of health for longevity.
Well, you know what? Every study you read, I don't care what it is, about medicine, about cause, there's always someone on the other side saying, nope, that's not right. Nope, that's not good. So, if you win the lotto, that'll cure all your problems. Nope, that's not going to cure all your problems. There's always someone on the other side of the road that's saying that's not going to be, $100 million win is not going to be good for you. Well, you know what? Let me get the $100 million. I'll decide if it's good or not for me.
That's true. And you really impressed me, Joey. I think you're a very smart and wise person. You have some really good perspectives about life. So, you really impressed me with your view of the world and how you think about it.
Well, I appreciate that. My wife and I, we're happy-go-lucky people. You know what? I can't fix it. No sense in stressing over it. Let's just move on.
Exactly.
Whatever. Someone hit the car. Whatever the case may be, just move on. Call the insurance company. Blah blah blah. You just can't. And I tell people, I always make my joke is, listen, I'm too big to get stressed. My body's already taxed, being, 6'7", 290, 300 pounds. I'm already a big guy. I don't need any aggravation coming my way.
Right. I mean, that's great advice, though. Keeping your stress level down. Also, stress has been shown to make worse many skin diseases, such as eczema, such as psoriasis, such as hair loss. So again, keeping your stress level down can be very helpful for your skin as well as your internal psyche and internal disease state prevention as well.
So if you had to give my audience 1 or 2 bits of advice on something that they can do, for their skin, for their whole body, mind, and soul, what would it be?
To do at home or to do in the office?
Let's do both. First the home remedies or the home skills.
Well, at home, I think the major facet that individuals can do that's really important, again, are to stay away from very hot showers. Take showers that are tepid and not drying to the skin surface. And then when you come out of the shower while your skin is still slightly moist, apply a moisturizer or hydrating agent on your entire body. Number two is, again, to wear that sunscreen every day, 365 days a year.
And what about office visits? What can they do to come in to help themselves?
In
body,
the
mind,
office,
soul?
I think things that are most helpful, or if you want to have healthy skin, slow down the aging process, we have technologies that stimulate new collagen synthesis very gently, like laser genesis, that are totally painless, almost like a spa treatment, but it can keep, your collagen stimulated throughout your entire life and really slow down the aging process. And then the second facet, again, is the utilization of the so-called filling agents early in life to keep your, again, facial structures well supported, can really have you look better than you do today 10 years from now down the road. So the combination of technology, filling agents, I think, are major things that we do in the office that almost every individual that comes to our office experiences. And, we tell our patients that they're not just coming in for the quick fix. The goal really is to put them on we call it the new natural program. When people leave our office, their greatest, compliment can be that they don't look like much has changed. But really the best compliment is looking at them 10 years down the road when they look as good or better than they do today. So we have so many great new technologies that have been developed, our research group has worked on, and others that can be utilized now to keep people healthy outside, inside, and really the concept of age prophylaxis or age prevention is now a reality. And the major tenet of our office is the new natural. Keep people healthy and looking natural for any stage or any age in their life.
Well, you hit it right on the head because nothing in life is quick and easy. If people want to continue to look their best, they need to come see you on a regular basis and follow the program. It's not a one or two visit time. It's not a one cream or two cream time. It's like going to the gym. I go to the gym for a week. I'm not, Lou Ferrigno. I've got to go for years if I want to look like Lou Ferrigno.
But most importantly, also, every one of our patients that comes into our office once a year, even if they come for a cosmetic indication like Botox, we recommend that they get undressed and have a full body examination. We want them to have skin health, number one. We want skin cancer prevention and recognition, number two. And then we want to, again, keep them looking well and keep them happy. That's number three. That's sort of the tenet that I follow in my professional career.
And that's what everyone should follow. First and foremost is the health, because as they say, if you don't have your health, you have nothing.
That's right, exactly.
All the Botox and cosmetic surgery, if God forbid you have skin cancer, that's going to get you from the back end. All right, it's not, you're not going to live to see it. So get checked first. And I went this year.
Good news.
Go ahead.
To your doctor.
I went to my dermatologist and for a full body scan because I don't, we know one another, but I don't have very much hair on top of my head, unfortunately. And I had a little something. I said, you know what? I went to my regular doctor. He says, that's something, no big deal. He said, go to your derm if you really want to be. I said, all right. So I went to my derm. Was like, no big deal. You're fine. That was just whatever on top of my head, just a little something. And I said, I also want to do a full body scan. So the whole thing. And he goes, right, pick up your feet. I go, for what? He goes, there's skin cancer on the bottom of people's feet. Let me see the bottom of your feet. I said, oh, all right. I would never have thought the bottom of my feet. He would have to check.
It can happen any place, and a good dermatologist will examine all parts of the body. And we have new tools also that can pick up early skin cancers without even taking biopsies. So we're really in a good place. And just like we go to our general physicians or to our gynecologists once a year if you're a woman, or your urologist sometimes if you're a man, having a yearly checkup by your dermatologist can only help keep you healthier and lead to greater longevity. And though the incidence of skin cancer is increasing still, most of it is because increasing recognition and the excellence of dermatologists and the public awareness that they need to have that yearly examination. But again, the mortality from the most significant skin cancers like melanoma has been somewhat stabilized, and that's because of good early prevention and detection.
And that's what people need, the prevention, the detection, and to, just like anything else, get it taken care of sooner than later.
There's no substitute for preventative medicine.
None whatsoever. So speaking of preventive medicine, doctor, how can my audience find, follow, and keep up with everything Dr. Neil Sadick?
Well, certainly the best way, we have three offices. We have an office in Manhattan where our research group is in the center of uptown New York on Park Avenue, 79th Street. We have a second facility at Union Square under Sadick Dermatology. And now we have a third facility in Southampton as well. So please come visit us at any of those facilities. Look at our website, Sadick Dermatology, to find out more about the services we offer. The clinical research studies, we run about 15 research studies a year also, if you'd like to be involved as a research participant. And then also, if you follow us on Instagram or Facebook, it's Sadick Dermatology, again, and that also outlines a number of the new advances and new techniques and products that our research group is working on and that we offer in our clinical facility. And I enjoy education as well. I'm a full professor at Cornell, and I hold an academic position also at the University of Minnesota. So I like educating you. So you also, my email is nssderm at sadickdermatology.com. If I can educate you, give you some hints, if you have any questions, it'd be my pleasure to respond. Kindly get a hold of me.
Well, that sounds great. And that's Sadick, Sadick Dermatology. All right. Well, Doctor,
That's right.
thank you for being on the Big Fat Joey Show. I wish you nothing but success and hopefulness in that we can find a cure for this COVID virus, and happy and health for you and your family.
Same to you as well. And again, you've really impressed me of how smart you are and what a great voice you are to your audience. And, you stay healthy. Everybody out there, stay healthy. Follow those simple, again, measures. And I'm sure that we'll be in for a better 2021 as we move forward.
From your lips to God's ears, please. 2021's got to be better.
Have a great day.
You too, Doc. Speak with you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Wow, Sin, great interview with Dr. Sadick.
So great. I learned so much on how preventative care is so important for your skin.
For your skin and for your overall health. Skin cancer is one of the leading causes of death for people, and you got to take care of your whole body and inside as well, your mind, body, and soul, as Dr. Sadick said. Well, everyone, definitely go check out your favorite doc and have them take a look at you and make sure you are healthy, and you'll be fine. All right. Well, everyone, up next is my interview with singer, songwriter, actress, composer, Sapphire Hart. All right, everyone, let's welcome to the line singer, songwriter, actress, Sapphire Hart. Sapphire, welcome to the Big Fat Joey Show. How are you?
Hi, I'm so good. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being on. I am super duper excited to get you on my show today, and especially today because your latest hit single, Toxic Love Story, drops today, November 13th. How did you do all this?
Oh my gosh. By the grace of God, truly. I've had so many amazing angels come and just bless me along this process. I started writing this song in 2017, and it was about a real relationship that I was in. And I played it for my mom one time, and she was like, "Girl, you got to keep writing on this song." And 2 years later, after really digging deep and really working on the lyrics and making sure that it was exactly what I wanted to say, it's out. It's here.
Well, congratulations. And you know what? I know my audience, they're going to roll their eyes when they hear me say this next statement once again. If you can be just a fraction as successful as Taylor Swift for writing about your love life, I think you'll be all right. Because I'm a big Taylor Swift fan, but she's my number one go-to. Because a lot of people, I find that when you write a song that's coming from your heart, it's coming from an experience, it definitely touches people in a different way than you just saying, I got to write a song. Someone's going to pay me X amount of money to make this song. I'm making a love song today. But you're writing from your heart. And just like Taylor, if you can be just a fractional as successful as her, you will have it made.
Yeah, man. That's what I've always said. I was like, I'm a Swiftie too, and I'm like an old Swiftie because I was raised in the South. So I remember our song when that first came out by Taylor. I was in. You could not tell me that I wasn't Taylor Swift. Okay, I knew every word. And also, like, I really was inspired by girls like her who write about real situations because you could feel that energy transfer when you write from a real place. And so, yeah, I agree with you. I will definitely take a tenth or a third of her success. I will definitely.
I would be happy just making what she pays in taxes. I'm good to go.
Oh, my gosh. Are you kidding me? Well, okay, let me not be messy, but I was going to say, well, Scooter Braun has her catalog now.
Yes.
So what they're making.
I think she's
still a little controversial, but
I think she's still doing all right, but
I think she's doing okay. I think she's just fine.
So now, Toxic Love Story. You know, you said it comes out from, you know, a relationship you had about 3 some odd years ago. Do you find that the music you write, a lot of it's coming from personal experience? Well, you know, where do you get your creative juices from? What spurs you on to write what you write?
Yeah, it's absolutely from every personal experience. Like almost every song that I've written, I can tell you who it's about, or like a situation that kind of made me write that song. And it's interesting because I started writing based on my surroundings. So my mom and her ex-husband, when they were married, I would write down their arguments in my journal, and I would put studies to them. So, like word for word, I would be like, you know, whatever she said or whatever he said, and that was my way of, I guess, processing it or whatever. And that started at a really young age, and so I've always been able to kind of use writing as my way to like self-express and to process things. So even though the relation, I wrote the song 3 years ago, but the relationship was 6 years ago. So that just kind of shows you, like, it took a while for me to, like, actually have lived it, and then to have the song and the melodies and all that stuff help me process exactly what it was that I went through.
Now, speaking of using personal experiences, and I know off air we're speaking about you and your mom are besties. Let's give Mom a shout out. What's Mom's name?
Hi, Mom. Her name is Asia, and we call her Mama Hart because she's everybody's mama. She is a mom's mom. So, yeah.
Hey, Mama Hart.
So I love you, Mom.
Now, you've just recently moved out to L.A. How is the vibe out there compared to living in New York City?
It's so calm, and it's, like, very quiet, which I'm a Southern girl who's lived in New York for so long. So I kind of felt myself wanting some of that older Southern kind of aspects and charm of just like being out in in nature and the quiet streets and seeing the mountains and the sunsets. And, you know, I mean, even though, you know, COVID obviously is here, I've been fortunate enough to like at least go to Running Man a few times with my mask and, you know, do all the safety things, but to see the city, and just like go to the Observer building, I've seen the Hollywood sign. So yeah, it's been nice. It's been a good like change of pace for me. I'm someone who's used to always being in a new space all the time. And so to be here, it's just nice. It kind of just invigorated me and kept that energy rolling for me. The vibe is cool here. I like it. And everybody's, you know, got that California lean to them, if you know what I mean, since it's 420 friendly over here.
Yes. They, you know, I love California. You know, that's why we call it, you know, the left coast over there. It is definitely fun to be out there, but nothing compares, in my opinion, to the energy that New York City can give you.
Oh, absolutely. There's no comparison at all. I mean, that's the city that made me who I am today. It gave me that grit, that energy, that hustling spirit. Like, there's nothing like New York ever. Nothing. And I think I'll always, if I get that tenth of a amount of success that Taylor Swift has, I will have my home in New York and my home in LA, because I always have to have some type of connection to New York. It's forever seared into my heart as a special place for me.
Now, speaking of connections, what musicians, who has inspired you to be who you are, to get into music, to be the best singer that you can be?
Oh man, I'm such a musician lover. There's so many to name, but just a few that I can think of off the top of my head is Stevie Wonder, India Arie, Usher, Michael Jackson, Missy Elliott, Beyonce. I
Queen
love
Bee.
Beyonce. Yeah, and she's from Houston like me, and she's a Virgo like me, so I always love her. And I make sure everyone knows that she's a Virgo just like me, and she's from Houston just like me. I make sure everyone knows that. So yeah, I love her, and yeah, and Aaliyah. Thank you. I really was like Aaliyah, and Aaliyah. I absolutely love and adored her growing up, and she is definitely like, as far as like style and like melodies, I think that her catalog is one of the best to this day, and she's been gone for almost 20 years now. So yeah.
I know. Doesn't time fly? You turn around, you're like 20 years ago. I just remember that news story the other day.
I know. It's crazy.
Now, I love asking everyone in these crazy times, what has been your pandemic hobby, or is there something that you finally got to do that you've never done before because you've always been busy, and with the pandemic locking you down for all these months? You know, what skill or hobby or something you've completed during this pandemic that you finally get to do that you've always wanted to do?
You know, I never had a routine. I never had like a solid wake up, do this, and this in the morning and start my day off. And because of that, like I said, I'm always moving around. When we went into lockdown, I was like kind of anxious, like everyone, I'm sure. And I was like, okay, how can I kind of control this anxiety? How can I feel more empowered with my day? And so I kind of started to mimic some of the people that I always listen to. I'm really big into like spirituality and thought leaders.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was listening to them like, well, do an hour without your phone in the morning, meditate, stretch, and work out. So I've implemented these things over the course of time. It just started with meditating and journaling, and then it went into like, okay, let me try this workout thing because I never like to do that. And now I'm like, I've fallen in love with Pilates, which is like, if anyone is lazy and they like to work out or like want that feeling of working out, but like not sweating and doing a lot, Pilates is your go-to. And now stretching, like I can actually touch my toes, which is a huge feat for me because I could not do that for a very long time. So I'm getting more limber and stretching and working out, and yeah, so it feels really good. Like, and I've been able to be consistent with it, which is nice. So now it's a part of my life, and I'm never trading it ever.
Big Fat Joe would just be happy if I could see my toes and more or less stretch and get them. Yeah, with the pandemic, I got a lot of little stuff, a lot of the honeydew list done around the house, and worked on my studio a little bit, replaced some wires, got back there, cleaned out all they used to be dust bunnies. Now they're more like dust boulders to clean up behind the console. But, it's fun just to hear all the different things, who's taken up, singing, who's taken up painting, who's taken up, had someone, they've always wanted to build a miniature train set, which is what they did on the pandemic since they were, locked down. I said, hey, more power to you.
Oh, wow. A mini train set. I like that. I might want to do that too. I might steal that one.
Now, Sapphire, what else do you have going on? What else can we look forward to in the future?
Well, alongside the singles dropping out of Toxic Love Story, I have the Toxic Love Story music video that's going to be coming out. And I'm also putting together my first vlog ever, which was a mighty feat. And it's like got the behind the scenes of making the video.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's on my YouTube channel, and the music video is going to be coming out. So yeah, those are the things I'm working on. And I already have another single that I'm prepping for re-release coming in January. But yeah, right now it's all about Toxic Love Story. And cuffing season is here, so I wanted that single to kind of get everyone in their feels.
Definitely. Now, how can my audience find, follow, and keep up with everything Sapphire Hart and get your latest hit single, Toxic Love Story?
You can go to my website, which is sapphirehart.com, and if you need help with the spelling, it's SAPPHIREHART.com. SapphireHart.com. And that'll take you to all my socials. That'll show you all the streaming services that my music is on. And if you're on Instagram or Twitter, you can follow me at Sapphire_Hart.
All right. Well, Sapphire Hart, thank you for being on the Big Fat Joey Show. I wish you nothing but luck and success in all that you do, and we'll speak soon.
Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure. This was my first interview, so I'm really just so grateful and so honored. Thank you.
Well, thank you for honoring us with your first interview, and I see nothing but success in your future.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. We'll speak soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow, Sin, what a great interview. She has so much energy and enthusiasm. It is contagious.
I can't wait to hear the new song.
That's right, everyone. We're going to be going out on today's show listening to Sapphire Hart's new song, Toxic Love Story. But you know what? Tick-tock on the wall. It's that time again. Wow, what a quick Sunday morning, Sin.
It goes too quick. I can't. It's unbelievable.
And I guzzled.
Tomorrow's Monday.
Yes, tomorrow's Monday, and I already guzzled down my coffee, and I got to get another refill on the way out of here. Well, everyone, before we leave you, this is Big Fat Joey. Big Fat Joey Show. Biggest thing on radio here with Sin, reminding everyone to make every sandwich count. Peace.
Toxic love story. Sapphire Hart. Oh, that way. We call toxic love story. Calling women's intuition. I knew something was up from the beginning. Cause as soon as you put the key in the ignition, then you wanna suddenly start confessing that you got a homegirl back home, and she got a kid that's not grown. Man, I should've seen it coming all along. Damn, my friends saw it coming all along. When you told me you had a girlfriend, think I threw up in my mouth like 10 times. I cannot believe I fell for your lies. I cannot believe that I let my pride bring me down to share a bed with this hoe. Sat right across and broke bread with this hoe. Man, I can't believe I kept my mouth closed. Man, I can't believe I came up my clothes. Held you down and kept your secrets on low. Had me feeling like a scrap episode. My hindsight is 20/20, and you were nothing good for me. Manipulated like a dummy. At least I can say I learned from it. But how do we get back when we know we're on the wrong track? I thought I was in love. It goes back. Hold up, wake up back. No, please stay. Get out my face. Go leave me alone. Don't leave me alone. I need you here. This toxic love story's like, oh well, wake up back. No, please stay. Get out my face. Go leave me alone. Don't leave me alone. I need you here. This toxic love story's like, had me convinced I could trust you. Then called me crazy when I called you. You showed me who you were the first time. Silly me, I didn't believe ya. Had me convinced that I could trust ya. They called me crazy when I called ya. You showed me who you were the first time. Silly me, I didn't believe ya. I was so colorblind when you showed the morning signs, flashing bright in neon lights. The Stevie Wonder wouldn't have to wonder. Hold up, wake up back. No, please, no.